Good evening, everyone. It's Tom Sidney Bushnell, aka Numbers, here from Psych Club, from the Tom Numbers Show. News of Tom Numbers and top of your game. And I've got my buddy that is always at the top of his game. You look very debonair, even more than usual. Mr. Matt Geiger from Midas Gold, my sponsor for the show. How are you, mate? You look like James Bond today.
Debonair. I like that word.
Yeah,
Very British of you.
it
Doing good,
is.
man. Just got back, as you know, from Yuma. That was a cool
Mhm.
trip. What's great about these trips, man, is you meet the coolest people. You
Yeah,
really you meet the coolest people. It's like, it's like a big family. And I
yeah,
think we're saying that on the episode. But we had a blast. Caught a little bit of a cold, but I'm better now. That was over the weekend. It's Thursday today, so I'm
yeah,
feeling I'm feeling better. But yeah, been busy, been going at it, just doing boomerang,
yeah.
my desk doing gold and silver. It's another day at the office.
Good. Talking of Boomerang, so people click the links below, join up, sign up to Matt's YouTube, and so I have a friend of mine I did a show with a few days ago, Christian. He's an energy chiropractor guy, doctor guy. He's brilliant. It's great. Anyway, so he just brought up the subject of Boomerang. I was like, that's very good. That's a nice synchronicity there. It's like Matt's got a Boomerang podcast, and Christian, without me even saying anything, is talking about boomerang effects. And I'm like, I like it. It's good. It's good. So
Yeah,
really good.
there was no intention behind boomerang. I just, as I told you, and I think a couple episodes ago, is just the boomerang on Trump's wall where him and JFK Jr. are. There's a
Yeah,
boomerang right above it, and I was like, boomerang plus the 17th letter of the alphabet, talked about it a lot, and I was like,
yeah,
let's do that.
yeah. Well, boomerang in numbers is 90. That's a friend of mine. That's her name, first and last name. But then boomerang is also economy. So 90 is economy. Boomerang is 90. So it's like the boomerang podcast, and podcast is 78, which is Kennedy. So it's like Kennedy economy, boomerang podcast, which is 168, which is New York City. That's where I got my first numbers when I bumped into Ivanka Trump. In all the gin joints in all the world, I walk into hers. Not that she has a gin joint, but we were on the street, so.
Say, I don't
Yeah,
think Ivanka Trump has a gin joint.
no, no. But she was like the maid of Manhattan. She just kind of floated past me. That's Ivanka. I've always thought she's gorgeous, It's like, and then I think, my brother remembers this better than I do. We joked that I would bump into her because I have a kind of tendency to bump into kind of, well-known people just throughout my life.
Actually,
What's that?
I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah. I think it's just kind of, we're just in that sort of frequency. It's like, yeah, we're kind of at that, level sort of thing and comfortable around him. So he remembers it that I joked I'd bump into her. And I did. And it was like, I don't know how many people are in Manhattan. Manhattan in numbers is 92, which is numbers. And then Ivanka Marie Trump is 192. And it happened on the 162nd day of the year, which was June 11th. June 11th is 141, Tom Bushnell. Reincarnation, 141. Quantum Leap, 141. Looking Glass, 141. 162nd day of the year, so 162 plus the word day, 30, which is AU, as in atomic, well, the chemical symbol for gold. And then AG is 8, chemical symbol for silver. Add them together, 30, day, 30, baby, 30. Add those together is 192, which is Ivanka Marie Trump. So anyway, the numbers were lining up, and and then the numbers started coming to me. Not as much as they have done since 2020, but I got a taster of them,
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
think Jaco was happy to run into you over the weekend.
I saw it. Yeah, I was like, because he looked, I couldn't see his face. I mean, the glasses and the cap, and I was
It
like,
looked like him. Yeah.
and then he took off his cap, and I was like, okay, it's his head. But I wanted to see his eyes. I was like, it sounded like him. So yeah, it
Funny
was
because
him.
I watched Jaco for years, and I've
Yeah,
loved the guy. I think he's terrific.
yeah,
We got there Friday in Yuma, and my friends are like, "Hey, we're going out to dinner. Mike Jaco will be there." I'm like, "Awesome, that's super cool." So I got
yeah,
to meet his wife Tracy. Super
yeah,
nice people. Just a nice guy. Hung
yeah,
out with him on Saturday for a little bit. didn't want to cramp his space or anything, but I got a chance to talk to him a little bit.
Yeah,
Showed him my Kennedy memorabilia. He was pretty impressed.
yeah,
And just a good group, good group overall.
yeah. It looked fun, and the weather was good, and
Beautiful.
today's been today's been wet, like really wet.
Same
Been just
here.
raining.
Phoenix, it's been pouring today.
Has it?
Yeah. I told you we had the golf out here today. It just started.
You did, yeah, yeah.
And it's raining cats and dogs today.
Wow. So they probably won't play.
I don't know what the status is. I'm not really watching it. I've, got better
Unless
things.
they had played under the brollies, but I guess I don't know what the rules are on how much they can play with rain per se. So one of my buddies, Chad, one of my best friends, lives out near you in Phoenix in Mesa, and I've visited him a number of times over the years, and in the last few years, fairly recently as well. And he always says to me, and I've experienced it once or twice now since then, but he said, "Oh, I wish you could smell the rain in Arizona because it's such a rarity."
Yeah.
I've enjoyed the blazing sun. I say I enjoy it, I love it, but when it's too hot, it's too hot. So I have to kind of either do autumn or spring because the sun, I'd get killed in the summer with that. But he said if you could smell the rain.
It's
And
nice.
I have experienced it a couple of times in recent visits, but for many, many years, I never ever smelt the rain in Arizona. It never rained.
What are cool out here are the monsoons. You get monsoons out here. Those are fun. I like those.
Does that just like flood everything, wash everything away?
Pretty much. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just like a very heavy downpour, a lot of wind. It's nice. Feels good.
yeah,
In the middle of the desert, it's a
yeah.
nice feeling.
You know what I saw? It's a good reminder. I should put this out on Twitter. So a year or two before 2020, I was out there. I was staying with Chad, and do you know Lasandis, the golf course at the top corner of? I know you're not a golfer, but there's a residential estate and a golf course, Lasandis.
I've heard it's
Yeah.
a very elegant. I actually I do play some golf. I do
Okay.
fiddle around.
Yeah.
My best score is like a 95.
Well, 95 is Tuesday, and that's when November 5th takes place this year. So
Perfect.
it's a good day.
Improve my golf.
What's that?
Improve my golf game.
There you go.
I'll play on
And
Tuesday.
and golf is 40 in numbers RV US. But I was at the tip of that golf course, so it's right in the top corner. You can see it on the map. It's right. They've got the estate, and then they've got the golf course that runs through the estate, and it's kind of layered. So it's like it's staggered. It's a slight incline. Anyway, one day, I guess one morning I was there, maybe midday, maybe 11:30. And I've been talking to Chad about it, like tornadoes. You don't get tornadoes in Arizona. And I've never seen a live one. I've been in Oklahoma when there's been tornadoes and sirens going off. And I've driven from Oklahoma down to Texas, down to Frisco, north of Dallas, where there's been torrential rain, like literally like a fire hose. So like a hole in the sky. So I've had experience with different types of weathers, but I've never actually seen a tornado, like, a spout. And of all places, in all the gin joints in all the world, literally a few miles away from the golf course, a funnel spout comes out of nowhere. I get it on video. I'm texting channels like, I just seen a tornado. It's like, no, it can't be. We don't get those. I'm like, wait, hang on, let me send the video. So I send the video. It's like, oh wow, it's a funnel spout. So it was like a mini tornado, but for all intents and purposes, that was a tornado. That was that was a physical whirlwind in the sky, and I saw it trying to touch down and then kind of moving on and got it on camera. So, but yeah, in all the gin joints in all the world, in Arizona, I see my one and only tornado stroke funnel spout. Anyway, how did we get onto that? I don't know.
It's all good.
So, what have you got for us, Matt, in terms of the money markets, gold and silver, obviously? But you were saying about the banks. The banks are failing.
Yeah. No one wants to admit it, but here's an article today. S&P 500 sets a record on Wednesday as banks continue tanking. So I'll just read a quick excerpt. The S&P 500 closed at record of 4,995.06 yesterday, while banks, big, medium, and small, continued to see their share prices hammered. And while the media is focusing the public's attention on the share price collapse of New York Community Bancorp, which as of yesterday's closing price is down 56% year to date, and it had its credit rating downgraded to junk by Moody's on Tuesday evening. Numerous other banks are trading at the lowest levels in 2 years. So goes back to what we were talking about. We talked about Evergrande.
Yeah.
Or Evergrande.
Yeah.
I'll pronounce the E here. I don't think the media is admitting what's going on. I think it's much worse than we're being led to believe. And just like this article points out, the media's focusing the public's attention on, right, the share price of somewhere else, some other bank. Yeah. That's what the media's doing. That's all they're doing. They're focusing they're focusing people's attention on everything other than what's happening in the banks. The only reason I come across this information is my job to it's my job to seek this stuff out. But the average person, they're not hearing about it. And it's like, hey, what if your bank becomes insolvent? What if your bank loses its credit rating? Right? They're laying people off, they're closing branches. Make up your own mind. I'm not here to convince anyone, I just think that, something like this, gold, right? It's a gold eagle. That's where you want your money. It's just money. It's fancy, it's heavy, it's nice, but it's just money, man.
Yeah.
It's simple stuff. You take possession of it, you take custody of it. What else can I say? It's writing's on the wall, man. Writing's on the wall.
It is. A gold eagle. It's
what does that work out to?
So eagle is 30, which is one we did just a few minutes ago.
Do American gold eagle.
So gold eagle is a gold eagle is 69, all three the words. 69 comes to financial, it comes to checkmate. So a gold eagle. And then American gold eagle, because gold is 38. Huh. American gold eagle is 132, which is Princess Diana, which is JFK Jr. is alive.
Do silver American eagle.
Ah, 179, the New Jerusalem.
I got my human calculator.
You got your gematria person, the gematria man. Yeah, 179, the New Jerusalem. A lot of people think that's. I'm inclined to think that as well. That there's a ship out there called that. I mean, that's more of the kind of. But hey, we kind of sometimes give things a caveat and an apology. It's like, well, actually, who knows what is real and what isn't right now, And I think all things are possible. So it's like, well, what frequency, what timeline do you choose, tune into? You manifest your own reality. So, yeah. So let's look at gold and silver eagles. So gold and silver eagles. 191, God's perfect number. That's what that comes to. Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day because there was, we had a client this week that signed up and it was good. It was, it was a good investment from their perspective. And so while we were talking, that one of the things that came up was, well, I got reminded of this. I got it reiterated in my mind, and it's like, okay, let's look at the things we know that have been going on in the last few years. And President Trump said, if Biden gets in power, he'll crash the stock market. So he said that. Everybody in the world knows he said that. And so if that happens, or when that happens, Biden crashes the stock market. What's that going to do? That's going to be a trigger event for all kinds of things. And so it's like, that reflects the confidence in the markets and the other markets, the bank market, all the other types of markets. So Biden's going to crash the stock market. It's going to happen under Biden. President Trump said, I think it was this week, I saw it, and he said he believes that Biden will be removed before November. So what does that tell you, people? Just those two statements from President Trump. because you're watching our channel, and so most of you are going to be people that follow and listen and believe in President Trump, and both me and Matt wholeheartedly do. Interestingly enough, Donald Trump is 138, which is the gold reset. Donald John Trump, 185, is the silver reset, 185. So his name is just silver and gold. His son Eric Trump is 123. It's silver plus gold, 85 plus 38, which is 123, which is silver plus gold. So those two things, if he's said that, that's going to happen. And he's also said the second part, that Biden's going to be removed. So therefore, he's going to be removed and it's going to crash. So that might be one of the reasons publicly why they remove, there'll be things that precipitate and lead up to that. So that tells you it's this year. It's this year. And so it's prudent for anybody to have a look at moving some of their fiat dollars, their digital screen currency, maybe some paper, but fiat monopoly money, and putting it into a real asset. And when the what hits the fan, the value of precious metals is just going to go up. That's just basic economics.
Well, what happens?
And it's going to flood into those markets. So things like gold and silver they're going to preserve their wealth, but you're more than likely going to get a great return on them as well. But it's happening this year, people, and even for me, I'm on this all the time. But it's like, of course, it's happening this year. It's happening this year. This is all going to happen this year. So every day is a countdown to when it's going to happen. So it's wise to pick up the phone, get in touch with Matt, and he can sort you out.
Yeah, and what it is the stock market. If it crashes, that money's going to flow somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So people, right, typically, historically, people would go to bonds, right? Because bonds are a safe haven. But bonds are the debt market. So really, the stock market's probably going to collapse as a result of problems in the debt market. The stock market runs based on confidence in the debt market, right? Mm-hmm. Debt is right, treasury bill, all that kind of stuff. That's going right. It's just a matter of time before stocks crash. So where's all that money going to flow? It's going to flow to commodities.
Yeah.
So you get your gold and silver now, you're good to go, right? Maybe you miss out on a couple months of returns, right? Because I would imagine the market's probably going to get higher than where it is now. But that's what's going to keep people in the market, right?
Yeah.
That's what's going to keep people saying, let me just get a little bit more at it. Let me just get a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think it's foolish. It's almost like a gambler, right? You're almost talking to somebody with a gambling habit.
Yeah.
The person needs to understand where things are at. They need to see the 40,000-foot view and get into the tangible commodity, because at a certain point, it would seem to me that money's going to flow to the commodities, first come, first serve for gold and silver. Next up, maybe you have to store your money in coffee or soybeans or corn. Because that's a better place than where your money is right now.
Yeah. It's just going to go into tangible physical assets is what's going to happen.
It could be collectible cars, man.
Yeah.
Cars. But what's nice about gold and silver is it's tradable currency. It's money.
Yours. Yeah.
This is where the idea, hey, it's been around for 5,000 years. Yeah, because people always just looked at it as money. It's just cash money. That's it. That's all gold is.
Yeah.
I could be sitting here holding a wad of $100 bills in the amount of, $2,100, which is what this thing would run you. But it's a currency conversion. That's all you're doing. Yeah. So when I went to Great Britain, right, and I spent a couple months out there, I had to convert to the British pound. It wasn't a very fun conversion, but I had to convert, right? And buy stuff there. It's the way it is. So it's just a currency conversion. And you'll probably convert that currency back to dollars once the whole mess gets sorted out, which will probably be very quick. I think Trump's got the whole system in place. I think everything's ready to go. Yes. It's just, what are you going to take with you? What are you going to take out of this system?
Exactly.
I don't just buy, I got collectibles, man. Yeah. This is my stuff. This is Juan, right? All signed by Juan. This is pretty cool. Show you one of these. Go pick up a copy of The Art of the Deal. It's a good place to start. Here's the peace dollar. Peace dollar and the reverse proof Morgan dollar from this year.
Nice.
Now, this is expensive silver. We don't really sell this stuff, but it's better than where your money is now. I told your viewers.
Why is President Trump, most of his branding is gold?
Yeah. Go get
King Midas.
Go get a 2017 proof set.
Yeah. Good number. Kennedy's. Drop the 0 to 217.
Yeah. Kennedy's. You got the 17 in there. You got Kennedy's 100th birthday, Trump's inauguration, right? A lot of factors in there, and this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
We don't really sell this stuff, but if your viewers just want something cool, collectible, proof set.
Yeah.
You look back, you have one of these things in 10, 15 years from now, I bet you it's worth a fortune.
Yeah.
Great place to store your money.
Exactly. I mean, just think with your, with your mind, just think logically. It's like if you feel that well, most people on the channel probably believe that it's going to crash, and President Trump has said it's going to,
It has to crash. It has to.
Exactly.
You
I
want to
know.
get
I'm being gentle with them. It's like it's gonna happen, and it happens this year. It will happen before November 5th. That's what I've been talking about November 5th forever. They're telling everybody in time immemorial. It's like everything has been set up. It's like a clock. It's gonna go before then.
If you're following the information we've been following, you know something's got to give. You know something has to give.
Yeah.
I don't say it to scare people. I say it because it's like, yeah, you're not going to take 100% of your money and stick it into gold or silver, right? But like I've used it prior examples. You got 100 grand. You got some income coming in, right? You need some emergency funds. Okay. So take 50, 60 of that, stick it into gold, silver,
Yeah.
right? Take possession of it.
Yeah.
It's nerve-wracking. Believe me, I don't like storing gold or silver in my house. It's annoying. It's a security issue, but there's ways to mediate that. There's ways to fix that. And I can give people advice on how to do it, what to do. It's actually very simple. I learned the key is not to stick a sign on your front lawn saying I just did this with my gold.
Exactly.
Pretty simple. Pretty simple, Tom.
That's it. And that's the other thing. So I've spoken to a few people that have purchased, and they've said, so when they get delivery, it's unmarked. So it doesn't say, oh, so it's just a package. So the people even delivering it don't know. So what you do is you don't tell people, and you keep it. And then if you want to, you've still got the option. You could do your 401k. You could do that with Matt. They can store it in the facility in Texas. You can go and visit anytime. And if you do the paperwork, you can take it home with you. So you've got the options. You could have some of it at home. You could have some of it in the vault. You could just get collector coin, but you don't go around advertising. Yeah, that's the key to it.
And if you do the collector stuff, I can advise people on the collector stuff. Like, in other words, I wouldn't be the one to sell it, but if people wanted to collect stuff,
yeah,
I like to think that a lot of people out there haven't done what I've done in terms of Kennedy and Trump collecting stuff.
Yeah, and you got a Diana coin, haven't you, as well?
Diana, yep, Diana. Yeah. I've done some Diana collecting. I think that, even if your viewers want to call me up and just say, "Hey, how can I allocate $100 and make it worth my time?"
Yeah,
I'll help people do. I'm happy to do it.
Yeah,
like I helped the guy with $100, and then I get the guy with $5 million. It's all the same to me.
Exactly. Yeah,
I want to add value to the community so that it's like, for example, clients from your show that have called in and have done business with us so far. There's actually been a few.
Yeah.
They're getting Kennedy collectibles. I'm going to add value to people's orders by sending you stuff that I just give it away. I've bought so much of this stuff over the years. Yeah. I want your viewers to have it because those are the people that'll appreciate it. I've got enough of it. It's not for sale. I used to buy this stuff, Tom. I used to buy it and be like, oh, I'm going to sell this at a big profit in the future. And I look back now and I'm like, this is for me.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give it away. I just literally give it away. And cool stuff, by the way.
Yeah.
One of a kind.
It's a nice touch, isn't it? It's like, do the actual proper, preserve your wealth, preserve your retirement. And then if you get like a nice extra bonus in terms of something memorabilia, that's great. It's a nice touch. People like that,
It's a relationship business. People are going to need to know what they're going to do with their gold and silver on the other side of this.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Exactly. You can help them with that. You can help them, and people will come back as well. So they might be like, okay, I allocate 30% or 50% of my portfolio. You know what? They've looked after me so well. I want to do another 25. So it's like it's relationship. That's what it is, and that's why, because I know my core viewers love me, and it's like that's what you and me have got a great relationship, and it's like, well, it's a no-brainer. It's simple,
A two-way street. I take care of everybody. Everybody gets something awesome in terms of collectibles, whatever it may be. It's like, I should show you. We should actually do an episode for my house one of these days. it's like I have a room dedicated to this stuff. I don't know what to do with it. It's like I'd rather somebody else find some joy in it. It's like I got my survival guide to the future. I've
Yeah.
got my, signed Cindy Crawford issue by John Kennedy.
Yeah.
That's a badass cover. That's probably one of the coolest things I have. I've got a lot of the famous photos of the Kennedys. That's not mine. That belongs to somebody. That's going to be returned to its rightful owner. But yeah, your viewers, on certain select podcasts that I go on, but your viewers especially, just let me know what I can do. I'm happy to
Yeah.
send it out. You don't even have to do business with me. I'll send you something cool.
Yeah. Exactly. Call him. I've been saying, call Matt. Tell him that I sent you, and he'll send you something cool.
I'll cover the shipping. Literally, it'll cost your viewers nothing. Just be like, hey Matt, what's going on? I like the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you something. I don't like. I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
is this serious? I'm like, yeah,
Do it.
absolutely.
Call them up. See what
Yeah.
he sends you. Yeah.
You'd be
Talking of the
surprised.
Kennedys, so you've reminded me of something. So there's someone I know. I won't say her full name, but I just say Belinda. But she's obviously got a last name. But she knows or knew. She has possession of certain letters, handwritten letters from Jackie. And do you know her?
I might. I don't know.
Okay.
That's pretty awesome. Handwritten letters.
Yeah. So I need to get back. Belinda, if you're watching, ping me an email and let's do it because we were talking about doing something around a show with that. So maybe we could do a three-way or something, and because that'd be cool to see some of those letters and see what Jackie's thoughts were back then on stuff. So yeah,
Fascinating stuff, man. It's like pieces of history and like I kind of grew up around a guy who was a big collector of firearms and medieval swords in his basement. I think when he passed, maybe about 15 years ago, I think his collection was valued at about 50 to $100 million. He had a Colt 1911 pistol from 1911.
huh.
First like brand new. So that always kind of tickled my fancy, if you will, in terms of
Yeah,
like collect. And then once I honed in on the Trump Kennedy stuff, I was like, it's fun. You
yeah,
pick up artifacts left in time, and it's cool. It's like
yeah.
I'm proud to like be able to look at it, and just put it on display. It's not for sale. It's not for sale. I don't want
Not for
money.
fair. Exactly. You know what? When you said about artifacts, so this is a nice reminder. So just a few nights ago, they were showing Indiana Jones, and I haven't done a show yet on this on News with Tom Numbers, but I'll mention it. But I'll do a little teaser of it now, so people can go to my locals. That's where my News with Tom Numbers is. But so Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark was on. They showed Titanic again. It's been shown. I love Titanic. Some people criticize it. I think it's just a masterpiece. I mean, how do you even produce a film like that?
Well,
Anyway.
the real story of the Titanic, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, we'll go into that in a sec.
More than
Yeah.
just the story of Jack and Rose, I'll tell you that.
Okay. Um, so Titanic in numbers is 76, a magic wand. Trump says we have a magic wand.
Right.
Immediately after they show Titanic here in the UK, they show Raiders of the Lost Ark. So my Sunday evening was great. I watched both of them and thought I missed the first hour or so of Titanic because I was coming back. But anyway, I still got it all in. I did the numbers. I forgot these, but I got reminded of them. So Indiana Jones comes to 115 in numbers, which is 11.5, which is November 5th. Guess what? Raiders of the Lost Ark comes to
Same thing.
You're on the right track. Comes to 224. That's 2024, but you drop the zero.
Right.
And it's right there. And that's been out for ages. And then you add them together. So if you do Indiana Jones 115, which is 11.5, which is November 5th, because it's the 11th month, 5th day. Raiders of the Lost Ark 224, which is 2024, because you drop the zero. You add those together, it comes to 339. 339 comes to Close Encounters of the Third Kind, another great film. And I've been to Devil's Tower, where that is. But if you look at it another way, you can do on 310. So 310th day of the year is November 5th this year because of the leap year. And the word on is 29, which is also Diana. But if you just do on 310, and 310 Zuma, and I've been talking about that one, and you were down there last week.
Yeah.
They've been telling us in so many ways throughout history and throughout time, everywhere they're telling us. And it's like, there's another one, Indiana Jones 115, which is 11/5, November 5th. Raiders of the Lost Ark is 224, which is 2024, because you drop the zero. You add them together, 339, which is on 310. And 339 is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Something's coming, Matt. Something big is coming. Get your popcorn in, convert all of your hard-earned cash into something tangible, silver and gold, and then sit back and enjoy the show.
Simple. So simple.
Yeah.
I'd love to see your interpretation of the new Back to the Future when that comes out.
Is there another one coming out? When's that?
Go YouTube the previews.
The what?
YouTube the preview of the movie. They're doing it. Michael J. Fox is in it.
Really?
Dr. Emmett Brown. I forget the guy's name.
I didn't know that. What, is it? Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. I've seen fan trailers of a fourth one, but I didn't know there's a new one coming out. That's
they're for real, and it's done by Steven Spielberg. Even though I know he's a piece of shit.
I know. Well, that's the other thing. So God will use whatever He needs to use, because whether Steven knew it or not, his films are coded to this precipice of life, of eternity. And even then, another film of his, 339, which is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. You know, everything's coming to a crescendo, and Art of the Deal is 115. The Art of the Deal is 148, which is Donald J. Trump, Simple Gematria.
I love that book, man. Everybody should read Art of the Deal. Everybody should read that book.
I found the bit about the movie in there that you mentioned. Yeah, it's there.
Tells the story, and if you think about it, in the book, what's there on 12th Avenue, where Hillary had her 2016 party? The what's that name of that building called? Javits Center. The Javits Center.
Oh, right. Okay.
Talks about the Javits Center, how he lost that project.
Savage so Hillary, right here. Yeah.
So he actually lost that project. He talks about in Art of the Deal.
Does he?
And coincidentally, Hillary did her 2016 presidential party at the Javits Center because it's got the glass ceiling. Yeah. Right. It was supposed to be an insult to Trump because he also lost that deal in real estate. It was a deal that he lost.
Yeah. This game has been going on for a long time.
Long time. Long time.
long time.
Yeah.
A long time. Another set of films they were showing around, early part of Jan and Christmas and New Year's. So with Harry Potter. And Harry Potter in numbers is 164, which comes to 5th of November. It's just everywhere, Matt. The whole thing is everywhere. So there's another one. So I haven't cut the recording yet and posted it, but everyone's getting a preview here, so I'll just tell them. So a few days ago, I was watching the bit where President Trump. So it was John Rambo on Twitter. So if you're watching, John, so he reposted a clip, the clip where President Trump talks about the level playing field for the currencies. But I was watching prior to when he was saying that. So this actual clip that John put up, and there's a part there where President Trump does a misspeak, and I'm trying to think what the word was. I'll do it in one of my further shows. But anyway, he misspoke, which he always does, deliberately. And he changed the value of the word from 114, which is Trump card, which is JFK Jr., if you spell Jr. all the way through 87. Frequency 114, but he changed it. So he changed, I think it was the M to an N. So he mispronounced it. So it increased the value of the word by one number, which took you to 115. I was like, there it is again. He's done it again. And he was doing this years and years ago. He's done it so many times, and if you know what it is, if you know gematria, even if you have a desire to do it, just listen to President Trump's misspeaks, work out the value of the correct word he should have said, work out the value of the misspeak. You can even add them together and you'll get values. And that's what I started doing way back in the beginning, early 2020. I was like, he's coding, and he's coding in plain sight. And if you put a little bit of effort into it, you can figure out what he's saying.
It's insane.
Amazing.
What's going on, Tom? What
We're in a matrix, man. We're in a game. Very realistic one, but we're in one. You know,
simulation? It's a
we're in a
simulation.
simulation. It is. It's like it is. It's yeah. What the hell's going on? But it's
It's fun,
brilliant. I
man.
love it. You know.
I'm having a good time. I'm having a good. You know what I like? I like being around the Patriots. I like being around
Yeah.
the people I was in with Yuma. It's funny because me and James, we rented an Airbnb for the Friday through the Sunday. James had to leave
Yeah.
Saturday, and the Airbnb said like no parties at night. I hope the people that hosted me on Airbnb don't see this video. I'm sure they won't, but if they do, I apologize. But I threw a huge
I don't know.
party.
We've got a big viewership, Matt. Where they
Hey,
probably
we
will
did.
do.
I threw a huge party
It's
at the house.
censored, but we have a big viewership. Yeah.
I get up in the morning. I throw a big party at the house. I get up in the morning. The house is spick and span. It's clean because that's the type of people that come over from the Patriot movement. They clean up.
Yeah.
All the dishes are done.
Like the Japanese.
It's like the Japanese people, man.
Yeah. Leave it better than you found it.
That left it better than they actually commented in my rating when they actually wrote me a review. They're like, "Yeah, place was left better than when he got there," and I was like, "Thank you."
So they probably, the owners of the Airbnb probably don't mind watching this.
Well, all I can say is we got a good group behind us, and that's what encourages me is the people. It's the people in the movement.
People is 69. Wealth is 69. Financial 69. Texas is 69. That's where the vaults are for you to store your gold and silver through Matt. Or you can take possession of it, get it home. And 69 is checkmate as well.
Juan did talk about a way for people to store it at home. There are ways to do it. I don't advise them, but if I could tell people what to do.
Yeah. Well, your buddy did the vault. He actually had a safe. That was brilliant. Just get a well-designed safe, you know?
Yeah, I think, you want to put some thought and some investment into wherever you store, no matter what you do, whether it be cash purchase or anything else. But I
Yeah.
could, I could advise people, in terms of how to store stuff. I can give you schematics of how to build out rooms and, because like I said in the last episode, it's like I've had people with, quite a bit of money on the sidelines, just not knowing how to keep it at home. There's
Yeah.
no other, and it's like, there's a lot of ways to do it. It's like, you just need somebody that knows how to think outside the box. And then you kind of choose a strategy, a solution. Um, Pretty easy to do. You can get around metal detectors. You can get around all that kind of stuff.
Is that something we could do on a show, or because we want to keep that knowledge private, we'll just
Probably want to keep
people
that
would
type of
talk
stuff.
when they keep it private?
You probably want to keep some of that private, but people can call me and ask. I'll tell people.
Call that and ask, and they'll tell you of some unique solutions on how to do it. Because safe is great. You had your friend on the other day was talking about getting your safe in, but call Matt. He'll send you something for free and get his advice on on creative ways to store. Because that gives you more options, gives you flexibility, gives you more choices. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to just be like, some, gold silver broker coming on your show. It's like I'm one of the community. I'm one of your people. I watched your show for years before you and I got in contact. That was cool. I've got so much of this stuff. It's like take some of it off my hands. I'll cover your shipping. It's all good. I do it as, a courtesy, put out good energy. It comes back to me. So believe
Yeah.
me, it all works out.
That's a brilliant, that's an irresistible offer. It's like you can call and he'll actually just send you some for free without any obligation. That's brilliant. Take him up on it. No one else is doing that. Call him.
Actually send some pretty badass stuff too. So it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not sending you like a Christmas ornament over here. I'm sending you like, okay, here's a piece of history. Enjoy it. Cherish it. Just has to go to the right people. As long as it's in the right hands, I'm cool. I'm cool. As long as they tell me, hey, I've been listening to Tom Numbers for 5 years. He's the man. I'm like, okay, you got it.
Yeah, it's been coming up to
Been about 3 years.
Well, I'm thinking. So when we get to, it's a good 3 and 3/4 years now, which is incredible. I didn't know I was going to do this. It kind of makes sense, but the actual number part, I didn't know that was coming.
I didn't think
I
I'd be
always
doing
thought
a
something
podcast for
great
the
was coming,
company.
but what's that?
I'm doing a podcast for the company now. It's like I'm getting all these like I got Tina Peters on. I mean,
Yeah,
Pastor David K. Clemens. I mean, you know who that is, right?
is he related to um
We'll
him?
talk. We'll talk. But he's a very important person in the movement.
You've told me about him. You have told me about him. Yeah, his name rings a bell. Yeah,
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 he's a guy who's put his life on the line. And Tina, the same,
yeah. You told me about Tina. Yeah,
on rants and raves about Tina, and as he should. I mean, she's the most important person since 2020. She's more important than anybody right now. No one realizes it. You have to look into her story. But her court case, we're going to go up to Colorado this weekend. We're gonna go back out of town. We're gonna drive it because there's no flights that go to Grand Junction, Colorado. It's like connect to connect to connect to connect. It's like 10 hours, 11 hours to get there. You just drive there in 8 hours. We
yeah.
were gonna go there, but her trial got postponed till I think June, I heard. But we're gonna
Okay.
be there. We're gonna be there 500 strong. And we're gonna be in the freaking courtroom supporting that woman. And any of your viewers who want to, you know, be on that trip, we're going to make it a get together with Patriots. So it's going to be like, yeah, we're going to see Tina, but we're going to have an awesome group of Patriots. So if your viewers want to come on that road trip, meet us in Colorado. I'll throw them up in some Airbnbs.
Yeah.
Make
Call
it a
him.
party.
Call him on a number. Call out your. It's on the screen, but call out your number, Matt, and people can call you for that.
480. My office line is the storefront here is 480-725-0536. That's
Brilliant.
my, it goes right to me. I don't have anybody that answers my phone for me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, good, buddy. It's great catching up with you.
You
And
too. We got to get you out here.
I know. And well, between you and me, I might be, mightn't I? So we'll. There's a few things to figure out, but I want to. I wasn't there last year. I've been there the last two consecutive years prior to that.
So right across the street, we have the airport. We'll take you up in James's plane.
Yeah.
You can sit in the cockpit. I'll sit in the back, and we'll go have lunch in Sedona. It's about a 35-minute flight.
Okay.
It's a great
You're on.
restaurant.
That'd be great. I love Sedona.
Beautiful.
I think I
People call
told
it
you on one of the
satanic,
shows.
but I
What's
love it
that?
up there. Even if it is satanic, I love it up there. Sedona.
Is it?
People call it that. I mean, there's some good cases for it, but at the end of the day, you know, I'm up there for myself.
Yeah.
For God, I ain't
You
worried
know
about.
what though? The thing is, it's like people say about the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
So I always love the Statue of Liberty because I think a lot of okay, maybe things have had a bad history, but all things are being converted to good again.
Redeemed.
Everything's been
Right. Redeemed.
reclaimed, and so
Yeah.
they're being redeemed. Yeah. So when you put your good intention and focus into that, you clean that out because they're just objects at the end of the day. It's
Exactly.
the energy and intention of whatever sentient being, whether they were pure or evil. So, but all that's going away; it's being washed away. So, Sedona, I thought was a great place, and I think if people put their good intentions into it, then it will be redeemed for sure, or already has been probably.
Yeah.
Well, if you're there, man, it has.
I love it up there, man. I got a house that I stay in every time I go up there. It's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. I loved. I think I told you this, but I went up with my buddy Chad that I mentioned earlier a few years ago. We drove from his early morning, went up on a road trip. It was like maybe 6 different territories of land. So, the hot desert, the residential area, and the kind of shrub grasslands. We
Going
went
up
through,
elevation. You're going through
yeah,
elevation.
forest there, a bit mountainous, bit of, and then Sedona, the Red Rock, and then the crater, the moon crater, and then we got to the southern rim of Grand Canyon, and across on the northern one, you could see the white of the snow. So it was like we went through all these time elevations. We went through all these seasons in one day. It was brilliant.
Yeah, Arizona has a lot more to offer than people realize.
I love Arizona. Yeah,
It's a great place, except for the
yeah.
summers. The summers are a little brutal, but
That's it. The summers are brutal. So I've not. Thankfully, well, no, actually, I had. I was with Chad for a bit of the summer, and I couldn't function really. It was too much. But spring and autumn's good. Yeah, fall. Yeah. It's good. Yeah, I love Arizona. Any thoughts on the Super Bowl? That's the big game that's coming up.
Don't care about football. Don't care who wins. I hope both teams lose. I hope the NFL loses. And I want nothing to do with professional sports moving forward. And I'm a big sports fan. Sorry.
There's
I
an
know
interesting thing. People should just watch the Dark Knight Rises again. Just have a look at that. And the player in the NFL scene, he's got 86 on his back. Ward 86 comes to 132. Princess Diana, JFK Jr. is alive. It's that number we came up with earlier, 132. But 86 in numbers is Las Vegas. Don't know. Let's see what happens.
I heard, okay, you have the Las Vegas Golden Knights winning the hockey championship, the Denver Nuggets winning the basketball championship, and the 49ers would win the Super Bowl because it's all gold related.
Gold. Did
Whatever.
the Denver Nuggets win the NBA?
It's my friend's birthday. I'll be focusing on his birthday party. I'm throwing him a surprise party. Josh, the locksmith guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did the Denver Nuggets win the NBA?
I think so. I don't know. I don't watch any of this stuff.
I went to a Nuggets game the year, I think it was 2018 or 2019. I've been to 3 NBA games, one in England, one at I saw the Golden Nuggets, and apparently they weren't very good that year. And then in Utah I saw Lakers against the Jazz. Yeah, I didn't know that. I like watching it when I'm in America, but I don't really follow it when I'm back here. You know?
Hockey's cool. Hockey's the one sport I still like.
Hockey's fun.
They moved the Coyotes like way down south, so it's like an hour and a half drive. They used to be right here in Glendale. I used to go to games all the time.
Yeah, hockey's fun. Hockey's like it's like five-side football.
Yeah, it's a great sport.
Yeah.
It's all rigged, man. It's sad. It's been rigged our whole lives, and
yeah, I know. So many things have been, but they're going to be changed over at some point.
Redeemed.
That's it. Redeemed. You know what redemption comes to in numbers? Comes to 119, which is a reverse of 911. The redemption is 119.
Like that.
There's also some others, but a good one is Nikola Tesla, 119. Mary Magdalene, 119. Central Park, probably not so good, 119. You know. Yeah, there's a few as well which I won't say on screen, but everything, all numbers, they know the power of the numbers. So the dark ones will go for it, and the good ones just dissolve them. You know, so that's what it is, buddy. Yeah. All right, man. Well, I will see you next week. Have a fantastic weekend.
Thanks for having me, man. Good to see you, and I'll talk to you very soon.
Thanks, buddy. And call Matt. He's going to send you a coin of some description, so call him. Call out the number again, Matt.
I'm not a cheapo. I do it right.
No, a proper one, an authentic, some history behind it. What's the number again?
480-725-0536.
Excellent.
Cool.
Good stuff, buddy. Over and out. I'll see you soon. Thanks, Matt. Cheers, buddy. Take care. Bye.
Cheers.